Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavati Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhagavati Nashtiki. So as we know, today is Guru Purnima and it's the first day of Chaturmasya. It starts today. And actually today is also, it's considered Guru Purnima because it's a appearance day of Ved Vyas. And Ved Vyas is considered the universal Guru because he compiled all the scriptures. And anybody who has any knowledge is because of those scriptures. So he is considered universal Guru, and that's why it's considered Guru Purnima. But for Gaudiya Vaishnavas, it's important day, not only because of Ved Vyas, but because today is also Disappearance Day of Sanatan Goswami. And Sanatan Goswami is considered the main Goswami among all the six Goswamis. And Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave his instructions to these six Goswamis who carried on the parampara after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So from that respect, it's also important day because this is the day when Sanatan Goswami disappeared and he is considered the Guru of all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Sanatan Goswami, when he was living in Braj, along with Rupa Goswami, but specifically Sanatan Goswami, he would travel all over Braj and meet all the Brajvasis. And not just meet them, he would go to their houses, he would talk to them about how's their household doing, how's the cattle, how's the farming, how are their sons, how are their daughters, just a normal talk. So the whole Braj would consider Sanatan Goswami as their father. So today, Disappearance Day of Sanatan Goswami, and also Sanatan Goswami was very well known for performing his Govardhan Parikrama every day. Every day. And at that time, 500 some years ago, Govardhan was even bigger than what we see today. And Sanatan Goswami would do that parikrama. And in fact, Govardhan Parikrama also, we do a smaller parikrama. Of course, for us, it's 21 kilometers, but it is still considered smaller parikrama than what Sanatan Goswami used to perform. So when he got old, Krishna himself appeared in front of him, of course, as a covered boy. And he said, Baba, why do you go around Govardhan every day? You are old. You don't have that much strength. And Sanatan Goswami replied, no, I have taken this vow, so I want to do this parikrama every day. So then Gopal, he gave one big shila. It's maybe like 2 feet long shila. He said, you do parikrama, 4 parikrama of this, and it will be considered as 1 parikrama of Giriraj. And that shila is kept even today at Radha Damodar temple in Vrindavan. So whenever you go to take darshan Radha Damodar deities, and there are so many other deities also, but if you ask a pujari to get you darshan of that shila, then he can get you, because it's covered by a cloth, but he can remove that cloth and let you take the darshan. So that shila is a unique shila. It has the lotus feet imprint of Krishna, and the hooves, cow hooves imprint is there, and Krishna's stick imprint is there. And it's kept very nicely. They worship it every day, and you can take darshan, and you can do parikrama, 4 parikramas of that shila. Go around the temple, and there's a parikrama marg. So we can do 4 parikramas and it is considered equal to 1 Govardhan parikrama. Of course, it's for emergency purposes. If we cannot go to Govardhan or if we are sick, whatever the reason could be, so then we can perform that parikrama. So because Sanatan Goswami was very fond of performing this Govardhan parikrama and he was considered as father of all the by all the Brajvasis, they all considered him as their father. So today, on this Guru Purnima day, every Brajvasi would come and do Govardhan Parikrama. And also they would shave their head because just like their father has died, they consider, even today, they shave their heads and they do Govardhan Parikrama. It's so crowded today. It's much more crowded than even on Govardhan Puja day, the day after Diwali. It's so crowded today. I mean, they stop the vehicles way, way behind. You can't even get to Govardhan with the vehicle. And there is hardly any space to do parikrama. There's so much of crowd. But it's their faith in Sanatan Goswami, their respect for Sanatan Goswami, their gratitude for Sanatan Goswami, that everybody goes and does parikrama today. So I won't recommend for anybody of us going there to do parikrama today. But devotees or people do go and they do set up stalls for food prashadam and distribute free food to all the Brajvasis who are doing parikrama. Of course, our book distribution team goes and distribute books over there. Many things can be done, many services can be done. It's a very, very special day. And today is the day of first day of Chaturmasya. It means that this rainy season is starting officially. So first month of Chaturmasya, we try to avoid green leafy vegetables like palak, methi, and those kind of stuff. Not the condiments, not dhanya and all that. It is leafy vegetables. So we try to avoid that. Of course, Prabhupada didn't stress on that part, but this is more from health aspect because this month there will be so many insects in the green leafy vegetables. So it's not considered very healthy. So it is better to avoid. And so Chaturmasya is starting. So Chaturmasya, the idea behind Chaturmasya is basically for sannyasis who would travel. And so for these 4 months of rainy season, they would just stay at one place and would not travel further. In older days, when there was no means of transportation, but these days, obviously, there's so many means of transportation. It's not considered that important. But some sects, they still follow this kind of rule. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, when he went to South India Yatra, so Chaturmasya, he stayed for 4 months at Sri Rangam, at Gopal Bhatt Goswami's father's house. And he stayed there for 4 months. Gopal Bhatt Goswami, that time was only 7 or 8 years old boy. And he just loved Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He loved serving Mahaprabhu. He loved playing with Mahaprabhu. And so much so that after 4 months when Mahaprabhu was going to leave, Gopal Bhatt ran towards him. He said, I want to come with you. Just little boy. And Mahaprabhu said, no, you stay here. Your parents are old. So you stay here, you serve them, and when they leave the body, then you come to. So that's what Gopal Bhatt Goswami did. So very special day for all of us to remember Sanatan Goswami and remember how Brajvasis. I mean, this is amazing. Even till today, this is a festival over there. It's called Mudiya Parva. Mudiya means you get your head shaved. All the men's, obviously. And so it's Mudiya Parva, and they all do Parikrama Govardhan. Hare Krishna. So we'll continue with our discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 1, Questions by Viduda, text number 44. Ajasya janmotpathnashanaya karmani kartrugrihnaaya punsam nanvanyatako arhati dehi yogam paro gunanamut karma tantram. The appearance of the Lord is manifested for the annihilation of the upstarts. His activities are transcendental and are enacted for the understanding of all persons. Otherwise, since the Lord is transcendental to all material modes, what purpose could he serve by coming to earth? Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda. The form of the Lord is eternal, blissful, and all-satisfying. His so-called birth is therefore an appearance only, like the birth of the sun on the horizon. His birth does not, like that of the living entities, take place under the influence of material nature and the bondage of the reactions of past deeds. His works and activities are independent pastimes and are not subject to the reactions of material nature. So that is the Prabhupada explaining about his birth and his activities. They're all transcendental. The law of karma enacted by the Supreme Lord for the living entities cannot be applicable to him. Nor has the Lord any desire to improve himself by activities like those of ordinary living beings. Ordinary living beings work for the improvement of their conditional lives. But the Lord is already full of all opulence, all strength, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation. So why should he desire improvement? No one can excel him in any opulence, and therefore the desire for improvement is absolutely useless for him. So any work we do is to improve our conditional lives. Or even in when we are working towards devotion life, we are trying to improve our sadhana or trying to improve our relationship with Krishna. But Krishna has nothing to improve. He is absolute. Absolute means all encompassing. So why should he work? And why does he work? No one can excel him in any opulence, and therefore the desire for improvement is absolutely useless. One should always discriminate between the activities of the Lord and those of ordinary living beings. Thus, one may come to the right conclusion regarding the Lord's transcendental position. One who can come to the conclusion of the Lord's transcendence can become a devotee of the Lord and can at once be free from all reactions of past deeds. So this is what Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, Janma karma chamin devyam evam yaveti tattva tyakta deham punarjanma neti mameti sarjana. So this is what Prabhupada is saying. Thus one may come to the right conclusion regarding the Lord's transcendental position. And if you do that, he can become, at once he can become free from all reactions of past deeds. It is said, Karmani nirdahati kintuja bhakti bhava. The Lord minimizes or nullifies the reactionary influence of the devotees' past deeds. So he can do that very easily. The activities of the Lord are to be accepted and relished by all living entities. His activities are to attract the ordinary man towards the Lord. The Lord always acts in favor of the devotees, and therefore ordinary men who are fruitive actors or seekers of salvation may be attracted to the Lord when he acts as protector of the devotees. The fruitive actors can attain their goals by devotional service, and the salvationists can also attain their goal in life by devotional service to the Lord. So karmis can attain their goal by devotional service. Jnanis or yogis, they also can attain a goal by devotional service. And because devotional service contains everything. And devotees, of course, they do not want any result, but still their goal is to attain love for Krishna or service of Krishna. And they also attain it by devotional service. The devotees do not want the fruitive results of their work, nor do they want any kind of salvation. They relish the glorious superhuman activities of the Lord, such as his lifting Govardhan hill and his killing the demon Putna in infancy. His activities are enacted to attract all kinds of men, karmis, jnanis, and bhaktas. Because he is transcendental to the laws of karma, there is no possibility of his accepting a form of Maya as is forced on the ordinary living entities who are bound by the actions and reactions of their own deeds. So he is transcendental to all the laws of karma. So, so he is not bound by this Maya that he is going to take birth according to his karmic reactions. There is no such thing for Krishna. So he performs his pastimes, now doesn't do activities. He performs his transcendental pastimes just to attract all of us, whether we are devotees or karmis or jnanis or yogis or whatever. He performs those pastimes just to attract all of us. And that's the name Krishna means. Sarva Akarshati iti Krishna. He attracts everybody. The secondary purpose of his appearance is to annihilate the upstart asuras and to stop the nonsense of atheistic propaganda by less intelligent persons. So here Prabhupada is clarifying that is the secondary purpose. In Gita, Krishna says, Paritrana sadhunam vinashaya dushkritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yoga yoga. But that's all secondary actually. It's all, Acharyas have realized that from different scriptures. That is the secondary purpose. The primary purpose of his coming is to enact those sweet, superhuman, transcendental pastimes, which he does to attract the devotees who are there with him, to have super loving pastimes with his devotees, and to attract or give some material for the future devotees to talk about, to relish, and to purify themselves. That's the whole reason he appears. Otherwise, everything is secondary, because to kill the asuras, he himself doesn't have to come. He can send one of his energies. That's good enough to kill the asuras. By the Lord's causeless mercy, the asuras were killed personally by the personality of God and gets salvation. The meaningful appearance of the Lord is always distinct from ordinary birth. Even the pure devotees have no connection with the material body, and certainly the Lord, who appears as he is in his Satchidananda form, is not limited by a material form. So even the pure devotees don't have a material body. Their body is all spiritual. It might look like material, but it's all spiritual. So what to speak of the Lord? He always has a Satchidananda or transcendental body. Text 45. Tasya prapanna khila lokapanam avasthitanam nashasane sve arthaya jatasya yadushvajasya vartam sakhe kirte atirtha kirte. O my friend, please therefore chant the glories of the Lord, who is meant to be glorified in the places of pilgrimage. He is unborn, and yet he appears by his causeless mercy upon the surrendered rulers of all parts of the universe. Only for their interest did he appear in the family of his unalloyed devotees, the Yadus. There are innumerable rulers all over the universe in different varieties of planets. The sun god in the sun planet, the moon god in the moon planet, Indra in the heavenly planet, Vayu, Varuna, and those in the Brahmaloka planet where Lord Brahma is living. All are obedient servants of the Lord. Whenever there is any trouble in the administration of the innumerable planets in different universes, the rulers pray for an appearance, and the Lord appears. Bhagavatam has already confirmed this in the following verse. Ete chanch kala punsa Krishnastu Bhagwan se Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Redyanti Yuge Yuge. In every millennium, whenever there is any trouble for the obedient rulers, the Lord appears. He also appears for the sake of his pure, unalloyed devotees. The surrendered rulers and the pure devotees are always strictly under the control of the Lord, and they are never disobedient to the desires of the Lord. The Lord is therefore always attentive to them. So basically here it is said that he comes to protect his devotees. But even that is not the primary reason. To protect his devotees, he can always send Sudarshan Chakra, or he can send Garudaji to take care of his devotees. His devotees are always protected by Sudarshan Chakra. He comes, personally he comes to protect his devotees, just to give assurance to the future devotees and to the public in general, that if you surrender unto me, I'll take care of you. That's the only reason. The purpose of pilgrimages is to remember the Lord constantly, and therefore the Lord is known as Tirtha Kirti. The purpose of going to a place of pilgrimage is to get the chance to glorify the Lord, not to eat jalebi and drink lassi. The purpose of going to a place of pilgrimage is to get the chance to glorify the Lord. Even today, although times have changed, there are still pilgrimage sites in India. For example, in Mathura and Vrindavan, where we had a chance to stay, people are awake from early in the morning at 4 a.m. up until night time and are constantly engaged somewhere or other in chanting the holy glories of the Lord. So that's what we should do whenever we go to any place of pilgrimage, Vrindavan or Giriraj or Barsana or Kurukshetra or any other place. We should be absorbing ourselves in glorifying the Lord. Or if nothing else, we don't know anything else, we can always chant the holy names of the Lord. Just chant more rounds. Sit down at a place or go around Govardhan or do whatever. Just chant. It's a wonderful service and it's a wonderful engagement, especially on those places where the vibrations are amazing. And if you chant over there, then you can really concentrate and you can chant many more rounds than one can normally chant at home. The beauty of such a pilgrimage site is that automatically one remembers the holy glories of the Lord. His name, fame, quality, form, pastimes, and entourage are all identical to the Lord. And therefore chanting the glories of the Lord invokes the personal presence of the Lord. Any time or anywhere pure devotees meet and chant the glories of the Lord is present without a doubt. It is said by the Lord himself that he always stays where his pure devotees chant his glories. So he's always there. All we have to do is try. You're so fortunate living so close to Vrindavan and Govardhan and Nandagaon and Barsana. Whenever you get a chance, just go there and sit down and chant. Just like our Rajiv Arora Prabhu, he goes to Radhakund and chants 64 rounds every once in a while. He just runs away from Noida and just goes there. And so many other devotees do that. So take full advantage of this and make our life successful. So there ends the first chapter of third canto, and time is also over. So we'll stop here. See if anybody has any questions or comments.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Kaise?
Good, Prabhuji. Thanks. Prabhuji, what is the parameter for how one should measure about his devotion or his bhakti? How is progressing? Yes.
Basically, what Bhagavatam says is more we are getting attracted or attached to doing devotion service, like hearing, reading, chanting, service, association, more we get realizations of the Supreme and less attachment we have towards the material world. I mean, the duties are there, services have to be done in the material world, but the attachment is not there, or slowly it's going down. That means we are making progress.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, Radha Prabhu. You may come.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances.
Please accept
All
mine.
glories to Srila Prabhupada. Today we have 2 more minutes, I think, and being the disappearance day of Sanatan Goswami, you want to tell us some more first thing?
In the beginning, I said something about the disappearance time. Another pastime, beautiful pastime of Sanatan Goswami. He used to live at Govardhan. There's a place called Chakleshwar Mahadev. It's near Mansi Ganga. So once he was there, and then one day he wanted to leave that place. He got up and was going. And Shivji, as Chakleshwar Mahadev, he said, Baba, Baba, where are you going? And Sanatan Goswami said, well, I cannot sit here and do my bhajan because there's so many mosquitoes here and they keep on bothering me. Shivji said, Baba, no, I like your bhajan very much. So you stay, I'll make some arrangement. And Shivji is Mahadev after all. So he called the demigod in charge of mosquitoes. And he said, there should not be any mosquitoes here. Let Baba stay. Let Sanatan Goswami stay here and do his bhajan. I like to listen to his bhajan. So till today, there are no mosquitoes at that place actually. Although Mansi Ganga is right there, it's like body of water, even if you consider materially. But at that location, there are no mosquitoes till today. So that by Sanatan Goswami's bhajan, even Shivji got attracted to that. And Sanatan Goswami would perform his bhajan there. And every day, as we said, he does Govardhan Parikrama. And then he would go all over Braj to do his Madhukari. And then he would come back in the evening and take rest. Somebody can ask, how is it possible? Braj Mandal is so huge. Well, it is possible. Just like when Radha and Krishna perform their pastimes and they have to go from, say, Krishna has to go from Nandagaon to say, some other one, Kamevan or Vrindavan or some other place in Braj, and Radharani has to go from Barsana to that place. So it is said that the Braj Mandal is like a lotus flower. So it has petals. So all these forests and all these places are on the different petals of lotus flower. So when Krishna and Radharani, they have to go from one place to another, so all the petals close. So they go from one place to another, and then the lotus flower again blooms back, goes back. So similarly, for pure devotees like Sanatan Goswami, the Vraj would do something like that. Of course, we will say, oh, how in the world the earth is moving and the rocks are moving. That is our material calculation. We cannot understand how it works in the spiritual world. But this is how Sanatan Goswami would go all over Braj to do his Madhukari and then would come back at night. So that's how he knew everybody in Braj. So much so that once we all, if you all remember, eating that sweet rice at Ter Kadam. So Baba told the story. I'll just say that in a short way. So once Rupa Goswami was there and he was performing his bhajan, and somehow he developed this desire to make some nice sweet rice and to offer to Sanatan Goswami because it was his brother. But he didn't have any kitchen or anything to make preparations. He just had this desire. And then all of a sudden he sees this little girl coming, and the girl said, Baba, Baba, today we had in our family, we had a wedding, and there is some kheer left from. In some places it said she brought kheer, some places it said she brought all the ingredients to make the kheer. Anyway, whatever the case may be. So she said, here is some kheer that was left over, so you have it. So Rupa Goswami said, oh, that is wonderful. I just desired to have kheer. So Sanatan Goswami came, and Rupa Goswami offered him kheer, and Sanatan Goswami was eating that kheer. And he said, wow, this is super tasty, wonderful. Prashadam, how did you manage to cook it? Rupa Goswami said, no, I didn't prepare this. Girl came from the village, and she said they had a wedding, and she said there were some leftovers. She brought the kheer. Sanatan Goswami said, which girl? From which village? Rupa Goswami said, well, that girl said from that village. Sanatan Goswami was, see, he knew so much about brothers. Sanatan Goswami said, there was no wedding in that village today. Then he asked Rupa Goswami, what did that girl look like? And Rupa Goswami started describing the girl's features. Sanatan Goswami said, Rupa, how dare did you take service from Radharani? Srimati Radharani herself came to give you this kheer. How dare did you take service from Radharani? We are here to serve Radharani. Of course, he was still eating the kheer, and it was very tasty, and he was relishing it, but at the same time, was chastising Rupa Goswami, and that, how did you take service from Radharani? And he was eating kheer. Oh, kheer is very nice. This is the mood of Sanatan Goswami. So that's the mood. I mean, we go to temple and we beg for Krishna, give me this, Radharani, give me this, give me that, give me this. The mood is to serve them. Hopefully, one of these lifetimes, I'll develop this mood of serving, not just demanding from them all the time. So anyway, now we'll stop. Anybody has any questions? Thank you, Prabhuji.
Beautiful pastimes, Prabhuji. Very nice.
Thank you, Mata. Thank you.
Haribo.
Haribo. So we'll stop here. You all have a wonderful day. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Jai Srila.
Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.